Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Altmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we've been working with Wonderful Moments and this lovely little scroll that makes the most beautiful backgrounds or mounts. And I thought I would show you one, which is, this is the tiny little piece. And if you look back on the other videos, you'll see exactly how I've done them all. This one is a 2, so we've got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, made into a little square, and then just cut around quite easily. And then the cardstock we're using is a piece of fresh fig, which is 4 inches by 4 inches, and the card base that I cut was 1/4 of an inch wider, so 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I thought that we would use the beautiful day and the lovely flower, because we're in the height of summer at the moment, and although it's been exceptionally dry, the flowers in the garden are just absolutely lovely. So we are going to ink it up in, this is a nice wooden blocked one, and we're going to ink it up and we need to line it so that we have the little leaf at the top. So I'm going to bring it down to the bottom because I want to try and get my line in as best I can. Push it down. 3-second rule. If you press your stamp down and allow it to soak into, or the ink to soak into the cardstock for approximately 3 seconds, you tend to get a beautiful crisp image, just like that. So we are going to colour this in using the Fresh Fig ink pad, and if you squeeze it, you will get a little pool in the bottom. And we are going to use our Aquapainter. Now we want to make it fairly wet inside, so just squeeze it and then you can just get a little bit of colour in, and we're just going to lightly go over the flower. And now I'm just showing you how you can do a quick wash. If you're somebody who's a great colourist, you could spend a lot of time putting highlights and lowlights and all of those lovely things in. But sometimes we want to do something quite quickly. And I'm doing this as a live video, as in I'm not going to edit it. So I'm doing a few videos where I'm not editing, so you can actually see in real time and see exactly what I do. So I turn it as I'm going and literally just wash it round. Take it through on the centre, picking up the colour as you go, and you can see the Aquapainter gives naturally some sort of lighter and darker tones, because as you pick up the ink, when you first put it on, it's darker, and as you work it round, it gets paler as you go. But it's a really great way to do quite a quick and a simple but very effective just a wash over. And because all of our ink pads and cardstock coordinate beautifully together, you can get what they call a tone on tone image. So this is going to be, let's just put a little bit darker down on this bit, on there. Okay, so that's our Fresh Fig, and then we just need to put a little bit of a colour in the centre. So I'm going to use the So Saffron. Squeeze it again. It's not quite as juicy, so give it a bit of a better squeeze. The new ink pads, you can do exactly the same thing. Now I do need to take a piece of scrap and just take the colour off, and literally if you just wipe it, as it were, the water will take the colour, so you're not then transferring onto the next one. Now we want this one a little bit darker, but we're just going to do the centre of the flower in the yellow, and again just sort of a quick wash like that. And then we need to have a leaf. Now I'm going to do, let me do mint macaron. Let me see if I can find that, because that's one of my new ink pads. So you need to really press a little bit harder and press on both sides. But if you do squeeze it, and then these open by pulling this way, they are a little bit stiffer. But you can see you've got a little pool in the bottom. So let me just wipe the colour off of there. We'll pick that up, and we're just going to do the little leaf. And again, just in a quick wash, like that into the leaf. And there we go. So move these ones out of the way so they're not in my work area. And so if we then put the mint macaron base, as I say, I don't stick everything down for you because you can see it, and put this in the centre, you can see how beautiful it is. And I think we should have just a quick little sentiment at the bottom. So always thinking of you, that's quite a nice one. So on this we're just going to take a little piece of scrap. There's always pieces of scrap when you get to the end of cutting your card, and I always save all my little scraps because they're great for doing the sentiments. So this is going to be always thinking of you. So you can line it up with the grid paper. The grid paper is something I use all the time, and then we're just going to put it down like this. 3-second rule, 1, 2, 3, lift it straight up. Beautiful. And we will need to trim this down. Now, have I got my paper snips here, or have I got them where I was cutting them out? Ooh, you're going to have to bear with me 2 seconds, because I'm just going to go and grab my paper snips, which are over because I was cutting out all of these shapes. Here we go. Now I think we need to trim this one down a bit, so we'll take it off to about there, because we want to do just a little point on it, and we're just going to trim this down a bit. So if you, as you do your line, if you look above where you're going, rather than at the side, so if you follow where your paper snips are there when you start, and don't look at the side, you will get a straighter image or cutting line. So let's follow it down like that, and then you have it fairly straight, and then we're just going to snip that in there down the centre and just do a little tab on it of this side, and take it off of that side like that. And then we could put this, move that up just a little bit on the centre, and we can put that just down on the bottom. I think that'll just about work like that. There we go. And as I say, I would stick this down. You can see how it's warped just slightly, but when you put your dimensionals and things on there, it will work perfectly, and that lovely little scroll really makes such a difference. So there we are, another way of using the little scroll just to make a beautiful patterned outside. So thank you so much for watching me. All the details will be below in the description box, and if you haven't looked at subscribing to me as yet, please look at doing so, because I do post regularly, and it's lovely to have all the beautiful comments that that you keep leaving me. So thank you all so much for that, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.